In this week's episode, we wrap up our Season 5 adventure, from our favorite places and foods to our most valuable lessons learned. Hi kids, I'm Mike.
I'm Tony.
And we are our RV Sunsets. Try and say that 5 times fast. We are a couple in our late 50s. We have been full-time for, well, it's a little over 3 years now. And we do it in our Brinkley Z3100 fifth wheel. What are we doing this week, Tony Tal?
So this week is a wrap-up of Season 5.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe it's been 5 seasons.
I know, right?
It's a bit of a highlight reel of some of our favorite things that happened this season and favorite places, and then not so favorite things that happened this season.
Some of our least favorite things. I am going to link all of the shows that we mention in the show notes below. So if you're watching on the television, you'll have to go get your phone or get your laptop, and so you can see those links in the description. Where did we go this year? We did 59 campgrounds?
Yes.
59 campgrounds. We did a lot of state parks this year.
Yes, which
Why?
I highly recommend. Cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were just stunning. Some of them not so stunning, but some of them were stunning. You know, I've heard so many people talk about state and county parks and how great they are. I just wanted to do that a little bit more. You know, resorts are great and everything, but we tend to not use the amenities that much.
No, we don't. Like, washer and dryer isn't even important to us because we have one in the rig. A couple things I'll mention about state parks. If you're going to do, oh, by the way, this is Gracie that's biting at my hands down here.
Gotta be on camera.
She's got to be in the middle of everything. If you are going to do a lot of state parks, I really think that a Starlink kind of is a must. A lot of state parks are kind of off the beaten path, so you're not going to get a lot of ubiquitous cell coverage. So a Starlink's going to be helpful. Also, don't show up at a state park tired, because or at night because state parks tend to be much more crowded in as far as like the roads go. Not so much the sites. The sites are usually bigger, but the roads are usually a lot narrower, and it can be way more difficult.
Not level.
Yeah, and so it can be more difficult to set up. So don't show up tired. Do yourself that favor. Well, I'll let you talk about this. How we had started out planning to do what?
The Midwest, because we bought a house there last year. So our plan was, hey, if we live in the Midwest, we should explore the Midwest. So we had all kinds of plans, and we started doing the Midwest, and it was great. We got to go to North Dakota and Wisconsin and Minnesota
and some of those were new states for us. Our rule is you have to have your head down in the state. You have to sleep a night in the state. So we added West Virginia, North Dakota, Florida, and Kentucky this year.
Yes.
Which leaves us only 5 states left, which is Alaska, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire. Although we've been through New Hampshire multiple times going to Maine, but we've never slept there. So that's what we have left.
So let's talk about some favorite new places that we visited this season. You want to start with one?
Sure. Sandusky, Ohio. We spent a lot of time in Ohio this year, but really enjoyed Sandusky. We went up to Put-in-Bay with some friends and had a lovely time at Put-in-Bay. All right, kids, we are at Put-in-Bay Brewing. With us is John. Julie's way over there. They're from our next trail.
Sandusky was a lovely little town. And we got to go to the merry-go-round museum and everything. And one of my favorite interviews was Bonnie. Bonnie.
She was one of the employees at the merry-go-round museum that we did a lovely interview with. Can you tell me a little bit about the artistry that goes into making one of these pieces?
So there's 3 different styles of factory carvings. Your Coney Island style are your flashy, shiny, glitzy, glamoury pieces. Lots of gold leaf, silver leaf, eye-catching pieces. Your Philadelphia style are your realistic looking animals. And then your county fair style pieces are your traveling machines. So the pieces are a little smaller in size with less detail on them.
We also wound up in Madison, Wisconsin, actually just outside of Madison, Wisconsin. Kind of fell in love with that area. There was a great art exhibit the week that we were there that we went and saw. And
the Capitol was beautiful.
The Capitol was beautiful. And of course, bowling
and beers.
Bowling and beers, yeah. Bowling and spotted cows.
The more beer you drink, the better you bowl.
Pretty much, yes. It's worked for me. spared frame one. Here goes Tony. You got this one. You got this. It was the hip check that did it.
Far North Dakota was really cool too because of the whole I see your friend there in the wood chipper kind of thing going on because they really go into it. But Bismarck was fascinating. The campground that we stayed in was just awesome. I learned to like old fashions.
You did. Tony Tal learned to like old fashions at a cool little bar in Mandan, North Dakota, which is just outside of Bismarck. And I think the one other place that we visited, we've got a list and it's a toss-up now because the Bourbon Trail was obviously fun, but I really, really enjoyed Tucson. We had been there before, but we spent a little bit more time there this year and experienced some of the things that Tucson has to offer, both food-wise and beer-wise, and just the murals throughout the city. We're huge fans of art, and the amount of murals in Tucson is just unbelievable.
You know, we had somebody there. They showed us the local side of Tucson, not just the tourists, but what the locals do, and changed my mind on Tucson.
Let's move on to favorite campground of the year.
So mine was the one in Pensacola, the tiny little campground, Greater RV Park in Pensacola. Actually, it's in Mary Esther.
Yeah, which is just outside of Pensacola.
Clean, it was quiet, it was well maintained, but there wasn't, you know, a whole bunch of amenities, but it just felt very comfortable and, I don't know, homey.
It wasn't like a corporate park. It was a
just lovely.
private, owned by a couple who lived there in the RV park. No amenities like laundry rooms and all that stuff, but again
we don't
as
need
we
all
said,
that.
we don't need it.
But, you know, they were so welcoming, and there was just something about that park that I just loved.
Agreed. I think mine was probably Fire Creek in Savannah,
Which is a resort.
Georgia, which is a resort, yeah, but it had the lazy river and all of that fun stuff. I kind of liked the lazy river. We had a day where we just floated around and drank
I felt
cocktails.
like we hit Fire Creek at a time that Fire Creek was needed. Does that make sense?
Yes, it was time. We needed a break
We
from a lot
needed
of stuff.
some stress relief.
Yep. All right, moving on to least favorite campground. For me, it was called Longview RV Park. It was in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. It was just difficult to get into it. The sites were extremely unlevel to the point that we were almost out of front jacks just trying to level the rig.
I mean, it seemed like everybody in that park had a hard time getting level.
Oh yeah, there was a river stone that he was completely out of front jack. He had nothing left because the site was so unlevel.
It was still fun because we were there with Joel and Tanya.
Yes.
But yeah, as far as campgrounds, that was not my favorite one at all. But my least favorite.
Oh, I know exactly what this one is.
Sorry, Pirates Den in Parker. You let me down. I mean, I remember the first time we drove through there and we were like, this looks like a cool place to come hang and party, and it's got a pirate theme, and it had this outdoor bar with all this pirate theme and a restaurant. Nothing was open the whole week. Nothing was open.
Yeah.
The sites were so close to each other, and we had a person on one side of us. I could hear every conversation she was having.
Well, she was also quite loud.
And it was rainy, and so it was muddy. They were dirt sites, and you were sick.
Yeah, I had come down sick as well. So yeah, it wasn't.
Christmas
It was a
week was a
disappointment.
week of just, yeah.
All right, let's move along to something that's a favorite.
Yeah.
To bring the mood back up. Favorite harvest host of this season for
me?
you? Yeah.
Luna Rosa
Oh, in Deming.
in Deming.
In Deming, New Mexico. Luna Rosa was a winery that we stopped at. I would agree. It was a really good
The wines were
harvest host.
great, surprisingly, in the middle of New Mexico.
Yeah, the wines were great. There was also huge parking spot. So even if you have a very large rig, you can get in there just fine. And it was completely level. We didn't have
weather
to
was
use the
great.
Andersons or anything.
The weather was awesome.
Oh yeah, weather was perfect.
Yes, it was next to the highway, but it was far enough where it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
And the train didn't bother me. And even though it was winter and the vines were dormant and everything, it was a really pretty setting.
I think my favorite was, it was one early in the season. We stopped in Wilson, Kansas. So it's like right in the middle of Kansas, right off I-70. It was the Atlas Ad Astra. A gentleman by the name of Matthew owned it. It was basically an old Atlas missile silo that he has converted into a Airbnb.
The concrete here at the surface is 9 feet thick. You have like 3-inch thick rebar tying everything together. These blast doors are 3 foot thick, 75 tons each.
And it was just a cool, something completely different sight to see. And Matthew was a really, really nice guy that gave us a tour and let us film it and all that stuff. So
Awesome. It was awesome.
I'll link that so you can see the Ad Astra tour.
You also like the Robin's Nest.
I did like Robin's Nest. It was less of a
Harvest Host.
harvest. It was a harvest host, but it was more of like a small RV park. But there was also full hookups at every site that they just charged you for what you wanted to use. So it was like $10 for power, $5 for sewer, and $5 for water, I think is what it was.
It was a good stop from leaving North Dakota to head to South Dakota.
Right. A lot of you know this. We love to find local foods. So favorite local food?
You go first.
You want me to go first? I think mine was, this is going back to Tucson. We discovered a place called the El Charro Cafe, which was the place where the chimichanga was invented. And they do a specific type of meat called carne seca, which is a beef that is dried in the Sonoran sun. They spice it up, make it into a burrito, deep fry that sucker, and then they use some red sauce and cheese, and it's bloody amazing. So I think that was my favorite. And I know what your favorite was.
Yes. My favorite was in Kentucky, the Kentucky Hot Brown. I had heard of it before, but I didn't know what it was. And we hit this old tavern in Bardstown.
Talbot Tavern in Bardstown.
And I don't think we filmed it, unfortunately.
No, we didn't. This was one of those, this doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while we go, you know what? We're just going to go have lunch and put the cameras down and just have lunch.
We were with Joel and Tanya, too.
And we were with Joel and Tanya. We had just got done at Bardstown Distillery.
Something like that.
And so we went to this Talbot Tavern, and oh my God, this thing was so good.
The Hot Brown was just lovely. It is like a piece of toast, and then it's got real light ham and real light turkey, and then it has a béarnaise sauce on top of it, and then they put 2 like slices of really lovely tomato, and then they put 2 slices of bacon, and then they put cheese and they brown it.
Don't let the hot brown confuse you, because it's not brown at all. It's a white, creamy, cheesy sauce that's over it. Oh, it's so good.
I need to figure out how to make it.
This is something that I know we are both going to agree on. Least favorite regional food of the season. The
Garbage plate.
The Rochester garbage plate.
There are fries on one side, macaroni salad on the other side, 2 hamburger patties with cheese, meat sauce, mustard, and onions.
Sorry, Mark, our brother-in-law Mark. It was just the least favorite of the season. We did, though, later on in the season, and I'll link both of these below, we did remake the garbage plate. We made the towel version of it, so I'll link that one below as well. So we said we stayed at a lot of state parks this season. How about your favorite state park, Tony Tao?
Beltran Chain of Lakes Regional Park.
Oh, the Bertram Chain of Lakes Regional Park it's outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota. So what did you like about it?
It was on a lake, and if we wanted to, we could go kayaking and paddleboarding, but we didn't because it was raining that week. But the sites were so long, easy to get in, easy to get out. The sites were so far apart.
Yeah, they were huge, huge sites.
You could put 2 Brinkleys in there.
We could have put two of our Z31s in one site, and they were all completely level. Also, I know it was Gracie's favorite state park because there was a chipmunk out the back window that had dug a burrow, and it kept coming out to get like dried grass because they had mowed the grass to take into the burrow.
All day
so
long.
it was like dog TV for Gracie. She just sat looking out the back
Like
window.
this all day long.
Just watching that chipmunk all day long. I think my favorite for the season would have been Fort Abraham Lincoln up outside of Bismarck, North Dakota. Part of that is just because I love history, and there was a lot of cool history there in the state park. There were some old outbuildings that they had remade. There was an old Mandan Indian village that they had remade on the site. So it was really, really cool.
It was right
Highly
off the
recommend
Missouri
it.
River?
Was it the Missouri River? It probably was. Everything in this country is off the Missouri River, it seems
So
like.
you can see the river from our campsite. Do we want to mention the other one that we have listed just to give it like an honorable mention?
Yeah, we could do an honorable mention. Go ahead.
Geneva State Park,
And where's that?
Ohio. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you got it right.
It blurs after a while. It's right off of Lake Erie.
Oh God, now you're hitting me with geography questions. Is it Lake Erie? Hold on, stand by, and we can find out. Yeah, it would be Lake Erie because it's right up here by Cleveland. And the state park was cool. The sites were really big. They were electric only, but they did have dump outs there, and they did have water as you came in.
We also went to that brewery or that winery that was a church.
And we also did
Chef Boyardee.
the grave of Chef Boyardee.
Okay, so I'm gonna make this statement,
Okay.
and if our viewers out there can confirm or deny this statement. I feel like Chef Boyardee is a bigger deal to you than it is to men.
Oh, to men in general.
To men in general than it is to women.
Well, let's see. Let's see if you feel the same after you stand in the basking culinary light of the chef.
I just feel like it's more of a dude thing.
Okay, go. What Tony Tao doesn't know is I have Chef Boyardee mini raviolis. So when she gets back, we are putting one down for the chef. Cold, again, you don't need to heat these up. You can just do them cold. One thing that we did experience this year, because we did spend a bit of time in the Midwest, was crazy, crazy weather.
Yes.
The first chunk of crazy weather we hit, we were coming into St. Louis, Missouri, and the sky went completely black on us. And the next thing we know, our phones were going off telling us that there was a tornado on the ground, to take shelter immediately.
Talk about that.
The fact that all the emergency alerts went off.
We're on the middle of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lane freeway, trying to get off on the 270 north. I don't see too much flying debris right now, but the winds are picking up.
And it turned out that the tornado that was on the ground, it dropped a few miles north of us, actually dropped in the city of St. Louis. So that was a scary weather adventure.
It was.
And then the other one was that night of hail, thunderstorms and hail up in Bismarck.
Thunderstorms and hail and...
Well, it's about 1:30 in the morning. And do we ever have thunderstorms coming through here? And I can hear the hail hitting the roof. And keep in mind, we grew up in San Diego, so we're not used to weather. So
It's February right now and it's 80 degrees.
yeah, you can probably hear the air conditioner running because it's too hot to not run it.
80 degrees.
Most valuable lessons that you learned this year. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
So one thing that we had happen this year is we had a few issues on the rig. The first one was a blown wet bolt out of the rear passenger side hanger that kind of blew out our whole suspension. We wound up having to change out our equalizers, change out all of the bushings throughout the suspension, get a new hanger welded on. And so one of the things that I think that taught me is keep your eye on everything on your rig more than you think you need to, right? Put your head underneath your rig and look at your suspension. Make sure you don't have any loose bolts anywhere. Put your head in your pass-through and look at your plumbing. However often you're doing it right now, you're not doing it enough. Do it a little bit more.
Even when I'm cleaning, so I'm constantly looking for water intrusion. I'm constantly looking for mold. I'm constantly looking at the caulking, to make sure there's no leaks around it.
Let's talk a little bit about spending time with family, because I think that was somewhat valuable lesson this year as well.
Yeah. Well, when we started this video, we talked about how we had planned to just stay in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. Well, our plans got changed because of my sister's illness. As you know, she passed away in October. What it really taught me was one of the reasons I really do love this lifestyle, and we've talked about this, is the fact that I got to see her several times and spend time with her and talk to her. You think going on the road that you're going to miss your family, but I get to see them more. We saw Audra more. We saw the rest of our family more. We saw the kids more. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many times we saw the kids this summer. It was great.
We were like through Kansas City 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
If you go into this lifestyle thinking you're going to miss your friends and family, that's not the case.
You'll also find that you wind up with more friends. I mean, we have friends all over the country now, and we do some of our travel planning based around where they're going to be, so we have an opportunity to hook up with what we refer to as our road family, which is, new friends that have become family throughout the country.
It surprised me first that we made friends on the road.
Why did it surprise you?
Because I'm an introvert.
You're an introvert, but you're hanging with me. I make friends with anyone and everyone.
Here's the thing. Yes, you miss your long-term friends. Like when we're on the road, I miss Mary Ann and Gail and Mike and Richard and Renette and Scott and Yolanda and all our friends here. I do miss them. But when you live in one place for a really long time and your friends live in one place, it's the same old stories. Oh, remember when so-and-so did this? And so, yeah. Meeting new friends, you get to tell all new stories and make new stories. That's the cool thing is, coming back and talking to our friends now. It's like, we saw this and we saw that and we did this and it's just cool.
What was the most life-changing event this year?
Definitely losing Audra.
Yeah, I would agree.
Losing Danielle was hard. Losing my parents was hard. Losing Audra is hard. And it just makes you, I don't know if we're getting at that age now that we're recognizing how fragile life really is. Mm-hmm. And that is life-changing. And so it makes me want to do even more now because all those people missed out on the things that they wanted to do. It's like a reassurance that we're doing the right thing. When you live this life, you're constantly, am I doing the right thing? Because it's a little bit more expensive. There's a lot of little things that make it complicated and a little harder on yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm learning that life is short and, if this is what you want to do it.
Agreed. All right, I don't want to end this whole thing on a downer because that was all of the categories we had. I should have arranged those a little bit better because I don't want to end on a downer. After being 3 years, now going into our 4th year.
I can't believe it's 3 years.
I know. Going into our 4th year of full-time RVing, would you do it again if you had the chance to start all over again with it?
Yes.
I would too. Why?
I feel it's changed me for the better. Again, he's forcing me to be more of an extrovert. It's forced me to slow down and enjoy things. I've just slowed down so much and I appreciate stuff. And I find myself just relaxing. And I know some of you think, how could you be so relaxed when you're living in an RV and you're going down the road and it's stressful and blah, blah, blah. And I've seen people that talk about quitting because they feel like it's so stressful. I'm finding the opposite. The longer that we're doing it, the more relaxed I'm getting. Mm-hmm. The more relaxed I am, the less stressed out I am.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like it's just slowed me down and that's what I needed.
Yeah. So my answer to that question is yes, I would absolutely do it again as well. It's given us the opportunity to experience a heck of a lot more of life, more of this country, more of the people in this country. We've developed friendships that we've never would have had. We've seen amazing places we never would have seen. And even though there's a certain amount of stress in doing this, the payoff way outweighs the stress. And like you were saying with me, the more that we do it, the less stressful it gets. You might think you're afraid I'm going to get a blowout, or I'm going to have a hard time getting into my campsite or whatever. The only reason you're afraid of that is because you haven't experienced it yet. Now that we have done this for the amount of time that we have, going into an RV park and not knowing how difficult it's going to be to get backed in, that's just a Tuesday now.
Yeah.
Right? Because we've done it so many times and we always find a way to make it work. So you build that confidence, and before you know it, those anxieties go away.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so would you suggest to viewers that are thinking about full-time RVing, should they do it?
If they do it smartly, financially responsibly, yes. Not every day is perfect, but the good days are so good that they do definitely outweigh the bad days.
Agreed. So that is our season 5 wrap up. Hopefully if you got something out of this video, you will hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell notification so you get notifications. And yeah, we will see you next week.